Welcome back to my views and news. Some new stories for you. First one is about the strategy adopted by Amhara Special Force as Ethiopian National Defense was trying to encircle Amhara Special Force camps. So what is Amhara Special Force doing? What is the strategy adopted by this force to avoid disarmament? We have some details for you. Secondly, late night discussions were held in Woldia. Woldiya youth remained alert throughout the night. And thirdly, viewers, General Abebaw Tadesse, senior general of Ethiopian National Defense Force, who is from the Amhara region, in an interview adopted a very threatening tone a few hours ago when he spoke in detail about the ongoing operation in the Amhara region. What did General Abebaw Tadesse say? Well, a detailed look at his interview. Firstly, viewers, now when Ethiopian army is trying to dismantle Amhara Special Force, though the word being used by the government is reorganizing. So let's say reorganizing. Now when Ethiopian army is reorganizing Amhara Special Force and Amhara Special Force is disagreeing with reorganization, what is the strategy adopted by Amhara Special Force members? Are they waiting for ENDF to come to them? Do they want to be captured? Do they want to be sitting ducks? What are they planning? Well, Amhara Special Force members don't want to be encircled. It means they cannot remain positioned at the camps. If they stay at camps, obviously, sooner or later, Ethiopian army is going to encircle the camps. So what they have decided reportedly is that they are leaving camps. Not all Amhara Special Force members are at camps in Amhara region. They have left the camps, they are scattering to avoid capture and disarmament by Ethiopian army. That is what we got from the field. For example, in Antioquia Gamza, North Shore Zone, there is an Amhara Special Force camp in Mekoe town. Mekoe town is main town in Antioquia Gamza, which is Avorada in North Shore. There is a camp of Amhara Special Force there. But Amhara Special Force members have scattered. Most of them have left the camp with their weapons, not without their weapons. So they're armed, they have left the camp. Most members are not there at the camp. In some places, they're trying to hold on to their camps, but in most cases, they are scattering. Can this strategy work? We'll have to see. And that is why last night when Amhara regional government issued a statement, it asked Amhara Special Force members to return to their camps. Why was the need of calling on Amhara Special Force members to return to their camps? Because they have left their camps. So Amhara Special Force members are trying to prevent repetition of what happened in Tigray. In Tigray, ENDF members, ENDF camps were encircled by Tigray fighters in November 2020. Some ENDF members were killed, some fled to Eritrea, some joined Tigray forces, and Tigray forces captured heavy weapons. It's not that ENDF wants to kill Amhara Special Force members in Amhara region. No, it's not that. So comparison is not fair between Tigray and Amhara. But Amhara Special Force members don't want to be captured and disarmed at camps. If they stay there, obviously they can be disarmed and captured. So they have left the camps reportedly in most areas. Secondly, late night discussions were held in Woldiya. Woldiya youth is vigilant, alert. It is, you can see some pictures on your screen from last night where Woldiya youth were on the streets. Woldiya youth yesterday stopped Ethiopian military. I shared a video a few hours ago that youth confronted Ethiopian army. Ethiopian army convoys were not allowed to pass through the city freely. And then we saw intervention by Abune Ermias, Orthodox Archbishop of North Wollo. Discussions were held at Woldia City Hall. No agreement was reached. And Woldia youth is still out on the streets. Though intra-city traffic was opened, but intercity traffic remained suspended. Let's see what happens in coming hours. Woldia youth showed in 2021 too that when ENDF tried to withdraw from Woldia, Woldia youth took to the streets. Sometimes they were seen armed with sticks, but they were there when Tigray were trying to encircle Woldia. Back then, Woldia residents, they hold on to Woldia for days. Though ENDF wanted to retreat from Woldia back then, but Fano fighters, Woldia youth, they did not retreat and they stopped ENDF from leaving city. It happened in 2020, I remember. So once again, Woldia youth out on the streets resisting the movement of Ethiopian army towards Amhara special force camps. Last night, busy night. Discussions held. We'll see the results after a few hours in the day. Lastly, General Abebaw Tadesse of Ethiopian National Defense Force was interviewed a few hours ago. Threatening, intimidating tone adopted by General Abebaw Tadesse. Interview was obviously about disarming, reorganization of Amhara Special Force. He said, those who have not learnt a lesson from war in the north will be taught. Ethiopian army will teach them a lesson. No one can gain anything by force. Decisions will be implemented. This is not disarmament. Amhara Special Force members can join regional or federal forces. There will be only 4 forces in Ethiopia. 2 in regions, 2 on federal level. In regions, 2 forces. Regular police, anti-riot police. On federal level, 2 forces, Ethiopian army and Ethiopian federal police. There won't be any 5th security structure in Ethiopia. This reorganization is ongoing in all regions, not just in Amhara. Amhara Special Force members can join police or ENDF. They'll be given better weapons, more modern weapons. Amhara Special Force members sacrificed with ENDF, but decision must be implemented. And he warned politicians. He said politicians should not interfere in Ethiopian army's work. Don't interfere in our work. We won't interfere in your work. It is as if ENDF is making these strategies. Is ENDF under some politicians or not? ENDF cannot chalk out such plans on its own. ENDF is an Ethiopian institution under Ethiopian parliament, Ethiopian politicians. Why did he say that politicians should not interfere in our work? ENDF is under the government. He was speaking as if he was the man who planned this operation, who decided that Ethiopia should have only 4 forces. No. Politicians are making decisions like PP politicians, PM Abiy-led government. ENDF is only implementing the decisions. Now, this interview is not well received in Amhara region. People are saying that where was ENDF in 2021? Where was Abebaw Tadesse when Tigray fighters entered Amhara region and ENDF started withdrawing from main cities of Amhara? Where was ENDF? Amhara Special Force, Amhara Fano fighters, they sacrificed for the Amhara region. So why wasn't such announcement made back then? There should be only 4 forces in Ethiopia. And where was Abebaw Tadesse, the man who says that those who don't follow instructions will be taught a lesson? Why didn't he teach a lesson in 2021? All questions, all remarks are very valid. Yes, I remember in 2021 when Tigray forces were sweeping across Amhara region, regional forces were stronger than Ethiopian National Defense Force. Ethiopian army was scattered. It was under immense pressure. And by the way, Tigray captured thousands of fighters, soldiers. Who were the soldiers? Were they members of Ethiopian army or Amhara Special Force? Most of them were members of Ethiopian army. ENDF members were taken prisoner. 90%, I would say, prisoners were ENDF members, not Amhara Special Force members or Fano fighters. Back then, Amhara forces fought on the front line. Like in the third round of fighting, we saw just a few months ago that in Wollo, East Amhara Fano, Amhara Special Force, they jointly fought. ENDF was there, but main contribution in Wollo in recent last phase of war was done by Amhara Special Force and East Amhara Fano on Wollo front. Yes, on Eritrea, on northern front, there was joint offensive by ENDF and EDF. So these forces fought on the front lines. Instead of disarming them by force, members of these forces, their commanders, should have been involved in discussions. They were not involved in discussions. Top Ethiopian leadership made the decision. It is time to implement the decision. So what is needed is that all special force members, zonal level, Woldia level, region level, they should be involved in discussions. They should be briefed in detail. Their concerns should be addressed. That is the way forward. Otherwise, this confrontation will continue because there are several elements which will try to destabilize Amhara region, which will try to fuel the conflict between Amhara Special Force and Ethiopian National Defense Force. So Ethiopian government, Amhara regional government, they'll have to involve Amhara Special Force members for discussions, for talks. Thank you for watching.